Hello, hi, and welcome to this 20-minute relaxation and art video I'm making for THT. My name's Izzy. For those of you who don't know me, I have been an online therapist for THT for a while, and I'm an art therapist as well. So this video is to show you a little bit of what I do and to help you to relax during your workday using some creative methods. So you should see in the description the materials list. So I hope your materials are all ready. If not, grab them now. And we're going to get straight into it. So this is going to be sort of a bite-sized session, quite a short one so that you can take a little break, maybe in your work day. So we're going to start with a visualization. Now this session is nature themed, my favourite theme to work with through art. So we're going to start with a really nice relaxing visualization. Now for the moment, ignore art cam. Art cam will feature shortly. But for now, close your eyes, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, just maybe grab a pencil and you can do some doodles and squiggles whilst you listen to my voice for this part, but you don't need to watch the screen if you don't want to. So let's begin, shall we? So this is my favourite forest visualization, and it's just to get you in the frame of mind for the art making today. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're able to, if you feel comfortable to do so. Slow down, take a few deep cleansing breaths, and experience the beginning of spring in the forest. Find a comfortable position and feel your breath deepen and become more regular. And the leaves that have fallen in the autumn have turned to compost and are nurturing the forest floor. Immerse yourself in the forest as it comes alive. Trickles of water turn into streams flowing through the forest. Flowers are starting to carpet the forest floor. Pay attention to what you're experiencing in this moment. If you find your mind is wandering, simply bring your attention back to the present moment. The forest is awakening with new life. The small streams keep cool beneath the canopy of ferns. As you experience the forest awakening, allow yourself to feel a growing sense of ease, calm, and joy. Wild flowers lining the banks of the flowing stream are adding pops of colour to the green and brown forest floor. Breathe in the smells, the scents of the flowers. As you notice simple things, the birds singing, the glow of light between the branches, you're discovering the extraordinary in the ordinary. As you find yourself getting caught up in the busyness of life, remember how it is to be in the forest as it awakens in spring. And remember how it feels when you immerse yourself in the present moment. When you need to, you can return to this place of growth and rejuvenation whenever you like. Take a few deep cleansing breaths and bring yourself back into the present moment. When you're ready, open your eyes. So I hope you're feeling a bit more relaxed, a bit more grounded, and you've got an image or a feeling of what it's like to be in the forest. Now, let's make. So I'm going to introduce the materials that I've gathered for this session. And now Art can join in. So we've got some leaves, and anything you can find is absolutely fine for this. Some flowers. I got these beautiful tiny flowers, as well as some daisies, which I'm excited to use. Some bits of sort of tree bark. These are all just things I found walking around in the green spaces near my home. I was looking for some feathers and interesting things like that, but I didn't find any, but they'd be nice for this. Just some twigs. Okay, that'll do, I think. Have as much or as little as you want. Actually, having said that, might think me a bit strange, but I actually collected a little bit of sort of gravel as well. And some texture. Don't know if you can see that there. Some texture might be quite nice for this. So what we're going to do is grab our paints. We're going to begin to recreate some of the sensations that we felt during the visualization. So this will give us a visual reminder. Making this piece of art will give us a visual reminder to slow down, take a pause every now and then when we see it. And I don't want you to be worrying about making a literal representation of a forest here, but I want you to try to capture the feeling that you get in a spring forest. So the temperature, the fresh smells, the softness of the light, the sounds and the textures. So really just think about capturing that feeling as we make. Now for this, I've got some watercolour paints and some acrylic paints. Any paints will do fine. I'm just going to move these bits to the side now. And I'm going to start adding a little bit of colour to my page. Okay. Now a bit of texture is fine. It's not a problem. So I'm going to start adding, really I'm thinking about the kind of soft light that was mentioned in the visualization. So I'm going to start with watercolours actually. I'm going to use a bit of yellow and a bit of red. And I want you to just go in with whatever feels right for you as you think about an image of a forest in your mind. And as you can see, I'm not being precious about this. Again, we're not making a picture of a forest, kind of capturing the essence of the forest. So I'm trying to create sort of yellow glow in the centre. Because I want that real sense of warmth that you get when the spring light sort of shines through the leaves. and you kind of catch a little bit on your face, and it's maybe the first proper warm sun that you've felt for a few months. I'm going to add a little bit of sort of fresh green. I don't know if you can see that. That really nice, like, I love that colour. It's almost the colour I'm wearing right now. To add again that like sort of fresh feeling, to bring in that idea of new life. Now, the nice thing about using acrylics here as well in this type of painting is you can add them a bit more thickly, and you can add in texture with the acrylic. Well, that's my plan. Some sand or even some earth would be good for this. So I'm mixing the gravel in with the acrylic paint here. And then I'm going to start to move that around. And I want to create, as I said, that sort of texture of the forest floor. I'm going to add in a bit of brown. I'm going to try and show you. There we go, you can see the gravel mixed in now. I'm thinking about what the soil looks like in a forest. It's quite a dark, it's quite a dark, almost black brown, isn't it? That, like, as it said in, as I said in the visualization, the composted leaves are kind of decompose to make a really dark brown colour. But I don't want to add too much darkness. Like I said earlier, I want there to be a real sense of warmth and light here, and softness as well. So maybe I'm just going to keep this dark area down here. Now let's think about the smells. So I'm going to bring in, I didn't grab some glue, so let me just do that. Okay. So the smells in the forest. So there were some flowers mentioned in the visualization, so I'm going to add them to my page. And just adding a little bit of glue to my palette. And I'm going to start adding these flowers. Not gluing them down fully, just adding them a little bit. Gluing down just part of them. So that they have a place and they have a purpose. Oh, look at the colour that they add instantly. I love that. I'm going to add some more glue now. And I'm going to try and sprinkle on some of these little tiny flowers that I love so much. I think they're maybe honeysuckle flowers. And I've got some daisies here too. I'm going to pull the stalks off the daisies so that it's just the heads, because they look really delicate. when I do that. And you don't have to use flowers. I mean, anything really that if you live near a forest, fab. Grab a few things you see lying on the floor. But if you don't, then you can always paint your flowers or collage them in another way. And I'll show you a technique for that I think is quite cute. So I'm going to need some scissors. Well, I haven't been very organised, and I haven't. I've got my scissors here. Excellent. So what you can do, I've got here a really nice, can you see that colour, that like, I hope it's showing up okay, that really bright, gorgeous yellow. This is a leaf. And I'm going to just cut, so you can just grab some leaves from the floor from the park. To do this with. And I'm cutting some petal shapes out of the leaf. Can you see that? Just a really simple, curved, sort of oval with points at either end. Really, really simple shape. I'll show you again. Like an eye. Here we are. And you can add them to your page to create a flower. And bear in mind with this, if you're using natural materials like me, that they're going to change colour, of course, because they were living. There we go. My little leaf flower. So they're going to change colour as they sort of deteriorate and decompose. So there's something quite, I find quite special about making art with nature, because if you're choosing to do it like I am, when they're freshly picked, then you're kind of capturing that moment, but knowing that it's actually gonna shift and change and transition. I think there's something quite special about that. It's not going to look like this in a day, in a week. So there I'm just adding some leaves because I want to get the sense of like the ferns, I think, were in the visualization, the ferns or like the canopy. I love that in the forest, especially when it's really warm, that you get sort of spots of really cool air underneath the like big leaves. So I'm trying to give that impression over here above the darker patch. So let me show you. There we go. So it looks like maybe a bit of a mess, but I think there's some real energy being transmitted here and captured. And I'm going to get in some of these brown leaves now. what I'm doing is I'm breaking them up. They're really dry, which is nice. I'm going to break them up and crumble them up and just crumble them into the wet paint. Maybe add a little bit of glue. It's getting messy now, guys. It's getting messy. But when is a forest not messy? You know, everything is just where it happens to be. And I kind of like that. I'm going to add a bit more gravel on top of this textured area. Trying to pick out the really fine pieces because they'll stick better than the bigger pieces. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I like that. I'm going to just add, now this glue is, I think it's like all purpose, so it's kind of wood glue, paint glue material, glue, kind of anything goes glue. And I want to add a stick, just kind of cutting across this like dappled light area to try and hint at, you know, a tree shape, again, without being too figurative. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing it down on the page to see which points actually make contact with the page, because obviously a stick isn't perfectly straight, and that's where I'm going to blob my glue. So here, and as you can see, I'm being really messy, but I really want you to encourage you to be super messy with this and just have fun with it. And you can always add a little flower over the top of a big blob of glue. Who's to know that it wasn't meant to be there, you know? This is your world you're creating. Bit of bark there. Why not? Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So, give it a go if you haven't already, if you haven't been making alongside me. I really invite you to grab some materials, whatever you can find outside, whatever you can find inside, and just let yourself breathe and let yourself start to unwind and let yourself be really curious. And I think that is the best piece of advice I can give you for this, because it might feel a bit like, what's the point? But really, the act of learning to be curious and the act of being creative can help massively with our stress levels, can help massively with our sense of pressure we might put on ourselves, or perfectionism, and just being a bit messy and having a bit of fun can really bring us back to ourselves and back to who we are underneath all of the work and the hecticness of life, you know. And with love, I really, really strongly invite you to have a go. And please, please send your pictures that you make in to Joe, or yeah, I'll add in the description below an email address to send your images to, because we would love to see you guys actually getting stuck in and getting messy and taking part. So yeah, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I hope it's given you a little just break in your work day. So thank you for being here today with me, and I hope to do a couple more of these videos, so stay tuned for a little bit more creativity coming your way. Until then, bye for now.